Hello everybody and welcome to the conclusion of the future tech tree analysis series. We've gone through all the different nations, Britain, America, Germany, Russia and Japan. We looked at all of the aircraft in detail, looked at the significance of them being added, hopefully got all the details right. The first thing I'll do is just talk about what I think could have been added for the nations, mainly like the main five ones. I'll deal with Italy and France later. For Britain, it would have to be the Lincoln bomber. Now, the Avro Lincoln was the last piston-engined bomber used by the RAF. It was sort of developed from the Lancaster, so better than Lancaster. Let's just try and get stats up. Had a maximum speed of 319 miles an hour at 5,000 meters, or 5,700 meters, and it had two 50 caliber machine guns in the nose and tail turrets, and a dorsal turret with either two 50 caliber machine guns or two 20mm cannons, and it could carry up to 14,000 bombs or 6,400 kilograms bombs, or in exceptional circumstances a 10,000 kilogram bomb. Now, it's a bit disappointing Britain didn't get this in the tech tree. We got some new Lancaster variants. We got some early variants. We got some early bombers added in, but we didn't get the Avro Lincoln, which I think would have filled in the gap between the Lancaster and the Canberra quite well. I can kind of understand why they didn't add it. They don't want to fill up the tech tree with too many bombers, and they were focusing mainly on the Fleet Air Arm, which is a good thing. It just seems a bit it seemed like a good aircraft that would probably get in. I was a bit surprised it didn't get in, if I'm honest. Not really a major complaint, just a sort of, a bit not disappointed, but just a shame it didn't get into the game. Another bomber that I think would have been quite a good addition to the game, even if just as a premium aircraft or as a sort of as a giveaway gift like the TB3, is the Ki-20. Now, this was a pretty big bomber, and it was based on the Junkers G-38, which was a civilian airliner, but the Japanese wanted to use it to attack forts at Manila Bay or for deep penetration missions into Siberia. I actually didn't know this plane existed until looking online, just for ideas for this video, because looking for aircraft that could have been added. And it was quite well armed. Two 7.7mm machine guns in the nose, a 20mm cannon in the dorsal position, two 7.7mm machine guns in two upper wing turrets, and a 7.7mm machine gun in each of the lower wing turrets. So quite a lot of armament. And it could carry up to 5,000 kilograms of bombs, or 11,000 pounds internally. Only had a speed of 125 miles an hour. Kind of seems like a Japanese version of the TB3, if I'm honest. There was only 6 of them. I think this would have been a pretty good premium air or gift aircraft, or just for a bit of a laugh. Like you see lots of people online using them as joke aircraft, and yeah, it would have been a good plane to have. I couldn't really think of any other aircraft. I'm not familiar with Japanese aircraft that much, but I don't think there really is much in the way that Japan can really get, other than that. Or actually, there is one other aircraft, the Kyushu Q1W. You should see it pop up about now. It kind of looks like a Japanese Ju-88. I don't think it was based on the Ju-88, although it looks similar. Had a top speed of 200 miles per hour. Was armed with one or two forward firing 20mm cannons, a rearward firing 7.7mm machine gun, and it could be fitted with two 250 kilogram bombs or depth charges. Now, like I said before, I don't think we're getting depth charges because of no submarines, but I think this would have been quite a good aircraft. I mean, don't get me wrong, not disappointed with what we got. I'm not complaining or whining. Don't take it as disappointment or whining. Just sort of wanted to give guiding ideas and let you lot know about different aircraft that was used in the war. And I think this would have been a good addition, but I can kind of understand why it wasn't added. Kind of looks like it kind of looks like a Ju-88, and they've already got enough aircraft. People might think they're just sort of copy and pasting German aircraft. They wouldn't be, but that people might think that, and yeah, just thought I'd add it in there quickly. Now, for the Soviet Union, I was having a lot of trouble thinking of any aircraft that they'd need. I mean, their tech tree is more or less filled, and you can see it from the future tech tree. There's only something like 13 that have got priority to be added. I also tried to find a fighter, because obviously I've just used a ton of bombers, and I sort of succeeded. I found a reconnaissance bomber aircraft, which is a biplane, the Polikarpov R-Z. Now, it was introduced in 1935. I don't know when it was retired. It was being replaced by the old two in 1941, so must have been retired early 1940s. Had a top speed of 196 miles an hour, and had a forward-firing machine gun and/or 1-2 Shikaz machine guns in the rear cockpit, and could be armed with 400 kilograms or 882 pounds worth of bombs. Yeah, like I said, the Soviet tech tree more or less is full. I wanted to add a plane in that they could have, you know, on the basis of fairness and all that. But yeah, I think the Soviet tech tree is more or less filled, and yeah, I don't think there's really much else they could add to it. So this, I mean, it did take a while just to come up with this aircraft, really. But yeah, hopefully they'll consider it. I mean, I doubt they'll be watching this video, but on the off chance they do, I hope they do consider adding in this aircraft. The only American aircraft that really surprised me that it wasn't in game was the B-26 Marauder. I'd mentioned it before. It gets mixed up with the A-26 Invader, because it was designation was changed to B-26 as well, and so there was a bit of complications between the two. But the B-26 Marauder was actually quite it was a very good aircraft. I've heard it had the lowest loss rate of any of the bombers. At least my book has it written down. And its gunners killed shot down something like 400 enemy fighters. I was quite surprised this wasn't added into the game, but probably one of my only really probably one of the only ones I was a bit not really disappointed, but you know, I'd expect it to be in the game, like by default sort of thing. It was armed with 12 50 caliber machine guns and could carry 4,000 pounds or 1,800 kilograms worth of bombs. Could reach speeds of 287 miles an hour as well. So quite well. Okay, not the fastest of bombers, but quite fast. Definitely well armed. I think only the B-25 one of the PBJ J has anything near that in machine gun wise, and I don't know if that counts as gunners or not. The stats I've got for the B-26G. So yeah, it was a very important aircraft. Was kind of surprised it wasn't added into the game, but again, I think this tech tree was just priority aircraft. It will probably be added in at a later date. So not too disappointed, but yeah, I'd kind of expected it to be in the game, if I'm honest. Now, for the Germans, they generally seem to have got all of the aircraft they need. The only place they didn't really get any aircraft was the float planes or maritime aircraft. One of the aircraft I think they could have got was the BV-222. Although I can totally understand why it wasn't added into the game, because it was the largest, I believe it was the largest aircraft of World War II. So obviously a very big aircraft. It was the largest flying boat to achieve operational status during the war. And let's just find armament. 3 20mm cannons, one each in the forward turret and 2 in wing turrets, and 5 13mm machine guns. I'm not sure if it was meant to carry bombs, but that would have made it quite a hard target to take out. I think only the G5N or G8N that the Japanese have that are anywhere near that in bomb load. So, I mean, armament. So, not sure how well it would have been quite hard to take down. Probably would have, like I said, I can't really tell if it carried bombs. I don't think it did carry bombs. So I suppose that could explain why it wasn't added into the game. But even something like the Flying Clog, otherwise known as the B3138, would have easily done. I mean, 1 20mm cannon, 1 13mm machine gun in the aft of the central engine, a 7.92mm gun in the hatch for the starboard side of the hull, 4 150 kilogram bombs, max speed of 177 miles an hour. I mean, it would have been nice for them to get some sort of like float plane, because at the moment they basically don't have any. Now you're probably wondering why I'm saying basically have no float planes and not they have no float planes. I mean, if they don't have any, then just say they don't have any. Well, technically Germany does have float planes. You're probably wondering why I'm on a custom mission. There's normal planes, but if we come over here to our fighter escort or our other fighters, you can quite clearly see that they have floats on them. Now this is the HE-51B hydroplane. You can't actually use them yourself as far as I'm aware. You can only see these in the mission editor. I'll probably put a video up on like a little guide on how to find them. So they are in the game. For some reason they haven't been made available. So when you get those floats events between America and Japan, Germany should really be able to take part in them, but for whatever reason, Gaijin haven't made them available. That's me getting shot down by a saber. Yeah, I'll just quickly quit out of this. So that's it for the main 5 nations. I'll probably add in the French and Italian nation, my own proposed tech tree, as a separate episode, because it may take a bit longer and I don't want it to drag on for too long. Yeah, thank you for watching. Leave your thoughts below on what you think of my recommendations or my thoughts on the tech tree, or your own thoughts on the tech tree. Leave likes if you like the video. Leave feedback. Subscribe if you like these sort of videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the French and Italian tech tree soon, hopefully.